players are coming in at different times. But finally, yesterday we had the full squad in. Cam Green came in from Maldives. So, yeah, it's been good. Look, the preparation is quite an interesting one. We've got to give guys opportunity to see what they can do, but as well as understanding that a couple of international players have been playing quite a bit of cricket, so we've got to rest them. But tonight we're playing another game, and I think tonight will give us a good idea about where we are as a squad and what we want to achieve. But other than that, all our preparation has been going according to plan.
Thank you. Ro, 10 years as Mumbai Indians captain. How do you look back on the journey? Any standout memories as you look forward to your next season with us?
Yeah, 10 years is a long time. Obviously, playing for 10 years, more than 10 years now, and being captain for 10 years. Obviously, you're bound to create a lot of memories within that period. And I've certainly enjoyed each and every moment of it. If you ask me to single out any single memories, I won't be able to because it's tough. We played some really good cricket over the past so many years. But yeah, you know, my experience with this team has been phenomenal. This team has given me great opportunity, you know, to come out and express myself, first as a player and then as a leader of this team. And I've certainly grown as an individual, as a player as well, being part of this team. And it has, like I said, it gave me a great opportunity to showcase myself in a different avatar. And I've certainly enjoyed each and every moment of it.
Final question before we open it up. What's the goal that both of you have set for yourself this season? Mark, we'll go with you first.
Win the trophy.
Ro.
Of course, that's the goal. That's the end goal. But we know we need to do a lot of things right to get there. And IPL is such a long tournament. It's the only tournament that goes for 2 months. And you have to play close to 16, 17 games to hold that trophy. And we do understand what it requires to do that, you know. So I think the focus, obviously, of the team will be to just break it down and take it, break it into maybe 2 halves or 3 halves of the tournament, and then see where we stand and, you know, take things forward from there.
Thank you. We'll start questions from the left and we'll make our way this way. Just introduce yourself and the publication, please.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Rohit. This is Ranjit Singh from ANI News. Last year was something which everyone from Mumbai Indians team will like to forget. But this year you have a replacement for Bumrah, Jofra Archer. So how would be the team balance? Like spinners are a major concern. And overseas players, how will they get their places in 11? So is there any plan for balance in the team?
No, look, we've got solid overseas players. Now, every time you come into the IPL, you start the IPL, you want to play your best 11, and you know, majority of the overseas players, you know, because you play with them, you know, through the year. It's the challenges, the local domestic Indian players, where we don't get to see them much. So that's why we kind of try and hold pre-camp season before the season starts to understand, you know, some of these guys. But a lot of the guys who are part of this team, we know them pretty well now, and it's just about fitting into the right combination with the couple of new rules coming in as well. You know, we just need to try and figure out how we can maximize those rules and field your best players on the ground.
About Jofra being replacement for Bumrah?
No, Jofra was always part of this team. Even last year he was, but he was injured.
He could not play.
Yeah, but obviously we all know the quality of Jofra. But sadly we'll miss Bumrah this year. But again, you know, a lot of opportunities are up for grabs. If someone's missing out, someone gets an opportunity to come and fill that place. we do understand how bigger of a shoe that is of Bumrah, but a lot of younger players will get that opportunity, and this is the platform for all these young players to come out and express themselves.
Rohit, hi, this is Devendra Pandey from Indian Express. Just wanted to know that it will be back home and away kind of IPL. So, because last year it was entirely played in Mumbai, how difficult it will be for player to back to gain that same system? Because it will take a lot of toll, traveling, night games. So, how do you look at it?
Look, IPL through the years have happened like this, home and away. We were lucky last 3 years that we were held in one place and the tournament happened. But I'm pretty sure all the guys, all the teams are used to these kind of fixtures where they have to play one game at home and travel for the other one. Yeah, I mean, to start with, it'll feel slightly newish, but I don't think it's going to take too much toll on the body, especially looking at our schedule. I think we've got a good schedule. And yeah, I think it's important for us to utilize the time that we get between the games, focus on recovery, focus on refreshing, and making sure, that you are 100% ready to go for the next game. But all in all, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem traveling from one place to another. A lot of the players are used to doing that, not just the Indian players, but also the overseas guys.
Hi Rohit, this is Taos Rizvi from Cricket Next, or all the best for the season. Or the question here is, WPL में Mumbai Indians, they won the title, and what kind of pressure you guys will be in, or what lessons are you going to take from them, considering already you guys have won 5 titles, which is huge. But you might have seen them, how they performed, but there must be some lessons that you might have taken. If you want to suggest something, please come out. And also your individual, how crucial is this season, considering there is World Cup next year, T20 World Cup next year. Individually, how do you see that as a batter?
Yeah, look, Women's Premier League was a big hit to start with. I think it was a great opportunity for all the girls from different parts of the world to come together and play. Especially speaking for the Indian girls, a lot of the younger girls got opportunity to play with the international players where they could learn a lot of things, and that is exactly what happened with us when the IPL started. We got to play with a lot of international stars, our Indian stars as well, and then eventually, the league grew on so much, and I think it's going to be the same for WPL as well. And yeah, no pressure. I think, they played well. They had solid, from the outside, we felt that, the team is kind of rubbing off the energy of each other really well. And that is something I was really proud to watch that. And yeah, for us, it's just going out there and doing what each individual is capable of doing, not to think too far ahead that what happens on 28th May and all of that. I think it's important that we focus on little things, and then those things will add up eventually to bigger things. And personally speaking, for me, it's like you said, it's a year later, so I'm not thinking too much about that right now.
Hi Mark, hi Rohit, this is Ananya from PTI. I want to ask Rohit, this might be MS Dhoni's last season. What do you feel about it?
I don't know if it's the last season. I've been hearing this for last 2-3 years. I think he's fit enough, he's still playing, so I think he'll continue to play.
What's he going to do after cricket? What is he going to do after cricket?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking you.
Okay.
Is he going to go to the military?
He might coach young kids.
Rohit, one question also. You said that young players will get chance in absence of Bumrah. So what about Arjun Tendulkar? Are we going to see him in the playing 11 this year?
Good question. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah, sure.
Arjun is he's just coming off a slight little injury, so he's going to be playing tonight, and hopefully we can see him do what he can do. I think him playing quite a bit of cricket in the last sort of 6 months has been very good for him as a bowler. So yeah, if we can have him available for selection, it'd be very good for us.
Hi, Coach. I'm Mohit Shah here. This is your first season with the Mumbai Indians. So how has your experience been with the team so far? You've already coached and had a lot of success in South Africa and also internationally. How has the experience been with Mumbai Indians so far?
Yeah, it's been very good. Completely different to coaching international cricket. I get to spend a little bit more time at home, which is nice. But yeah, I'm at the sort of professionalism that Mumbai Indians show, the attention to detail has all been there, and the support staff around me has been fantastic as well. So, look, I'm well aware of the fact that my job needs to have results, and hopefully we can get some results. We didn't have a good season last season, so hopefully we can improve on that. But also, I've set myself high standards, and I'll challenge the players to set their standards high as well. That's why when you ask me a question of what do we want to do this season, I want to win a trophy. I'm not here to try and get the third place or the fourth place. I want to win. I want to win. So that's what this whole opportunity is all about, and hopefully we can try to do that. Certainly, I can't say that the support is not behind me. I've been given everything that I really want, and so from that perspective, it's been great.
Thank you. And just a quick follow-up. So, like was discussed earlier, Rohit completes 10 years as Mumbai Indians captain this year. You've played against him internationally as well as in the IPL and also seen him from close quarters. What is it about his captaincy that you have admired the most over the years?
The first time I ever played against Rohit, I was actually standing as wicketkeeper, and I was going, like, this kid's got so much time to play. So, yeah, it is. It's interesting how the world sort of goes around in different ways. Now I'm his coach. I don't see him as that sort of relationship, though. It's more about a respectful relationship that he knows the game of cricket very well. So it's more about myself and him just having a conversation and learning from each other. And I will try and take all the pressure off him in any way possible and give him the space to go out there and express his skills. I'm just looking forward to him having a great season, hopefully, and enjoying it, really enjoying the challenge, and hopefully at the end of the day, come the back end of May, being in the competition to try and hopefully win a trophy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. I played against him. It's been a fantastic journey watching his career. Now I'm his coach, which is quite strange, I must admit. But I'm just looking forward to the challenge.
All the best and thank you so much.
Hi, Amol from the Hindu here. I have a question for both of you. Rohit, you just touched upon the rule changes, both when it comes to 11 after the toss and especially impact player. Mark, this is your first season and with such different roles. How do you look at it? And Rohit, do you feel that the IPL actually needed such drastic innovation? And do you actually feel that this could possibly be a game changer? Or from a player's perspective, is this going to be more confusing than the fans? How do you look at this whole overall scenario?
I think, first of all, I'll just answer Mark's sort of question. I think the rule changes are actually quite good. I think it's quite innovative. You know, the impact player, we're going to have to learn along the way. I think that there's no definite science to it. You can make some changes to your team that could be beneficial to you, but you might make one or two mistakes along the way as well. So I think as the games go along, we'll learn from our decisions, but also from other teams' decisions as well. But I do think that, you know, especially with the announcement of your playing 11 after the toss has been made, I think it can be quite influential on the game, especially in India, because dew plays a big part in the game. you know, especially if you're playing at night time. So, yeah, I think the rule changes are good, but as a leadership, we're going to have to learn about making decisions and also being adaptable to those decision-making policies as well. So I think, yeah, I think the rules that have changed right now is good, but I think the best scenario would be for the people who are making those decisions, they need to, yeah, sort of go along with the times and be quite smart about it as well.
I agree with what Mark said. I think it's interesting to have kind of new sort of innovation coming into the game. Only the time will tell what happens and how the team cope up with this new rule, but I like it. I like the idea of, you know, having an impact player coming in and changing your team after the toss. I like it. Let's see what happens. Luckily for us, we're playing the last from the first game. When it starts, we're playing the last, so we'll be able to watch the other teams, what they do, and how much beneficial is it to the teams. So probably get some ideas from the games that happens before us.
Yeah, Rohit Vishwanath here. You have worked with an Australian mind, Ricky Ponting, then Mahela, Sri Lankan mind, you have a South African mind. So which are the areas you would like to pick his brains on? You know, there are different perceptions there about. You know, isn't it the Australian, Ricky Ponting and Mahela, and he's a South African. And as a follow-up to Amol's question, do you think the captains will always use the impact player thing or just give it a pass?
Captains will always use that. It's an interesting rule. There's no doubt the captains will not use it. But again, like I said, it depends on all the team dynamics, what the other teams have as an impact player who's sitting outside. So we'll not be worried about what the other teams are doing. We'll see what we can do and how we can strengthen our team on that particular day with that new rule. So we will focus on that. Like I said, we will get some idea in the first couple of games that happens, just to get a little bit of idea as to what teams are trying to do. And obviously we've had a good chat around this new rule as well, and there's still a few more days to go. We'll keep having chats around that. So we try and make sure that we get the best possible players on the park. And in terms of, you know, these guys all have played so much cricket. Mark, close to 500 international games, so much experience playing for one of the top teams in the world. You know, for me, like I said, and it's always been my philosophy, you know, I like to learn. I like to learn and grow as cricketer. Obviously, like you said, different mind. You know, I've heard so many good things about from South African players about Mark, how he's taken the team through in the last couple of years when he's taken over as a head coach of South African team. So obviously, for me, again, you know, how every individual works, what sort of mindset they have. For me, that will be key to understand, you know, and learn from Mark, you know, how he has taken forward his cricket, how he has played his cricket. So, you know, when I get the opportunities to meet different personality, I get really excited. And it has helped me over the years, and I'm pretty sure moving forward as well, it's only going to help me. So I'm quite looking forward to, you know, picking up his brain, you know, how he thinks about the game. And yeah, taking the team forward. That's our end goal. This is what both of us want, taking the team forward and getting the best possible result for the team. It's crucial because, you know, we are sitting on the top of it. So obviously a lot will depend on what we think as individuals. So I'm quite keen to take this forward and see what happens, what best can happen for this team.
This is Sanjeev from Hindustan Times. My question is for Mark. Yeah. So your thoughts on your bowling attack, especially with Jofra Archer in the mix. How is he shaping up in the nets, and like how do you plan to make best use of him? Like what role you have thought about?
Yeah, look, our bowling attack is quite exciting for me. I'll say it's an unknown quantity. Losing Bumrah has been a big loss for us. I'll be honest with that. But with losing a player, sometimes you get opportunities. The way that Mumbai Indians have selected their squads over the last few years has been like, you know, you select your playing 11 and you select your backup 11. And then you invest in a couple of youngsters for the future. And it's now time for those youngsters to show up and basically get the opportunities. So, yeah, you know, for me, the big thing about this season from a bowling lineup is that we've got the experience, but we've got one or two little spaces for a couple of the juniors to come through and really showcase their skills. So I'm looking forward to seeing them arrive to the body. You know, the IPL is a massive event, and it's going to be a great opportunity for a couple of our young boys to really show up. You know, we got the experience in a spinner in Piyush. We've also got a couple of youngsters in Kumar and also in Shaukin as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of operate this season. We've got some great variation in our bowling attack. I think our batting is very strong, very, very strong. But our bowling is almost going to be a little bit of a surprise package. So I'm looking forward to see them all operate together and hopefully operate well together. And yeah, bottom line, at the end of the day, we want to get a trophy. So hopefully they can all put their efforts together.
How is Jofra shaping up in the nets?
Jofra? We'll see tonight. He's playing tonight. Look, the one thing about the international players is that they need the freedom to move around a bit. A lot of them have been playing cricket. Jofra has obviously come off a major injury. He's been playing quite a bit of cricket of late, which is good. So, yeah, I think he's in a good space at the moment. He's really ready to get out there and perform, which is a good space for us to be. Hopefully he can kickstart the IPL off with a bang. But we'll see tonight. Tonight we're playing a game as well, and he'll be playing in that game. So we'll see where he is at tonight.
Hi, this is Gaurav Gupta from Times of India. My question is that, Surya has had phenomenal last 3 years, and then just one series where he's failed to get off the mark. So, Rohit, have you had, any chats with him, and how is he, sort of lifting him? How do you plan to lift himself from this, slight?
Surya's fine. You can't judge a guy's form if he can't face his first ball. I mean, he got out 3 times. Yeah, I had a chat to him the other day, and I said to him, so how are you feeling at the moment? And he goes, Coach, I'm actually hitting the ball very well. And I was like, okay, cool. You can't tell that a guy's out of form if he doesn't get past his first ball. I mean, the first ball, every cricketer will know that just get past your first ball and you should be fine. And unfortunately, the last 3 innings that he's had, he hasn't been able to do that. So hopefully, in the IPL, when he faces his first ball, the whole crowd will cheer, and then he can just get on with his business. But he's actually hitting the ball very well, and there's no concerns about Surya whatsoever. He's a great player. Probably the best T20 player in the world cricket at the moment.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Rohit. This is Glenn from Fever. The Mumbai Indian squad looks very, very good. We've got some big hitters. We've got Devil Brevis. We've got Rohit himself, heading from the front. We've got Tim David and Cameron Green and all these big hitters. The fans are very intrigued to know कि combination कैसा होने वाला है पूरे team का, क्योंकि we've got Surya, we've got Tilak Varma. How is the team combination going to be for the matches?
2nd April, 7:30. No, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is the toss. So probably then you'll know. But no, look, I mean, obviously it's too early to talk about the combination. But of course, you want to try and cover all bases. You're playing against RCB, and we know how they play as well. So obviously, like I said, like I've been talking about it, we want to field our best 11, almost rather 12 now. We'll see, these practice games that we're going to play, will give us a fair bit of idea about what we want to do as a team. So in terms of combination, it's pretty tough to reveal anything right now, but I think your 9 or 10 players are sorted. It's just about that 1 or 2 slots that, we just need to have more chats around it. Otherwise, our squad honestly is pretty much settled. Lucky, hopefully, no injuries from here on now, and will be sorted through the season. So I think it's all about going and assessing the conditions as well in Bangalore and see what sort of pitch we're going to play on as well. So all will depend. All of these will depend on the conditions as well. And like I said, it's only probably 1 or 2 slots that we need to fill, and hopefully, in the next few days we'll have that idea as well.
Thank you.
I want to ask, do you think that the new impact player rule will in a way negate or reduce the role of all-rounders? And would at any stage would you want to rest up a little bit in the league round?
I don't know whether it'll impact an all-rounder. An all-rounder will always be an all-rounder. No matter what stage of the game, it'll give you an option of bowling him anytime, making him bad anytime. So all-rounder will remain all-rounder. Yes, with that 12th player, you can always fill that gap, a little bit of gap of having that balance of 5th or probably 6th bowler or an extra batter. In the hindsight, you can say that, but you still want to put your best players on the park. There may be a slight difference to it, but I don't think it's going to impact so much in terms of having the all-rounder in your team or not. But yeah, this is an interesting rule. Like I said earlier as well, we have to wait and see how the other teams and what sort of mindset they have in terms of this impact player rule, and we'll have an idea as well. In terms of me resting, I think Mark will give you an answer to that.
Do you want to rest? Look, the impact player is going to be quite interesting. As Rose said, you've got to be adaptable to everything that happens, and we'll be able to see how other teams are using it, and hopefully learn from the way that they use the impact player as well. I think what you want to do is you want to use the impact player, which is exactly the word. You want to have a player who comes in and makes a massive impact on the game, whether he's a bowler or a batter. So that's the sort of mindset that I've got with regards to the impact player. With regards to resting Rowe, he's the captain, okay? Hopefully he gets into some good sort of form, and hopefully he doesn't want to rest. But yeah, we'll adapt to whatever the situation is. If I can get the best out of him as a captain, as a player, then it'd be great. If it means that he's got to rest 1 or 2 games, then I'll do that. Absolutely, not a problem.
Yeah, Rohit, just one more question from me. There's a lot of chatter about workload management, especially for the bowlers. And what are your thoughts on this? What is the best way to go about that? Because as you said, 16 or 17 games to get hold of the trophy is going to take a hell of a lot out of the bowlers. So how do you look at it actually? The best way to go about it actually, because the World Cup is coming.
Look, in our team, we've got all the young players who haven't played a lot of cricket, so there's no question about workload management with them. But yeah, I mean, look, through the season, if something happens, if we got to adapt to it, we will adapt to it. We will look after the players. If we need to rest a couple of our bowlers at any given point, we will try and do that as well. We've been very flexible in terms of, getting the players right on the park. So we will follow the same procedure like we've been doing over the years with MI. So yeah, we will see how the tournament goes, who needs rest, who needs to be given a break. If the situation demands for us to give someone a break, we will do that. We've got the best medical team with us here, some of the very experienced physios and trainers with us. So we will we will hear them out and see what is the right call that we need to make for an individual. We will try and make that.
Hello, this is Subodh Mayure from Midday. Being the most successful IPL captain, there must be high expectations from you everywhere. But how do you manage to cope up with the pressure level is concerned? And how much MI will miss Bumrah this year?
Expectations is always there whenever you go out on the park to play cricket, not just IPL, but any cricket you go out to play, the expectations is always there. So that doesn't really bother me now. Obviously, having played for so many years now, you don't really get bothered or worried about what people are expecting you to do. We know that we have to do our best and, win the trophy. We know that. But keep thinking about it all the time and put pressure on yourself doesn't do any good for you as individual and also for the team as well. So we got to try and just put the pressure aspect slightly outside and just focus on the game, try and have some fun. Pressure is always there. Pressure is not going to go anywhere till the time you play this sport. So it's important to keep that away from you, and I've learned how to do that. So, our role as the leaders of this team will be to keep that away from the entire squad as well. And how we can do that is up to us. We know how to do that, so that, the boys are just having fun and not worrying about what they want to do on the field. Of course, when they come and play, they know that, they have to perform, they have to bat well, they have to field well, they have to bowl well, and win the game. They know that. Everyone knows that. But to keep talking about it all the time doesn't do any good for anyone. So it's our job to make sure that, the guys are quite relaxed and not thinking too much about, the end result. And we've been talking about it, about Bumrah. It's a big miss, but again, gives someone else the opportunity to come and, showcase their talent. We've got a couple of guys who've been with this team for last few years, and I think they're very much ready to take the center stage now. So hopefully we can blood in a few youngsters and hopefully they can live up to the expectations.
Hi, Rohit. This is Vishal Dikshit from Cricinfo. Obviously, Bumrah is not there, so I just wanted to understand, it must be an unusual feeling preparing without him. It's the first time Mumbai are playing an IPL without him. So what is the thinking like? For example, he used to bowl the 17th and 19th overs. What is the preparation like in terms of filling the death overs role? And what are you telling the young bowlers who will be coming into the 11 in his place?
Look, speaking about the younger players, I don't want to put too much pressure on them right now. When we get close to our first game, probably then we'll try and give them that specific role. But obviously, leading up to that first game, guys pretty much know what we are expecting out of them. But the last thing I want to do is put too much pressure on them and expect so many things from them. I think it won't be fair, especially for the guys who have not played IPL before. And there are a few guys in our squad who have not played IPL before. But if they get an opportunity to play, my job is to keep it very simple with them. Just make sure that, how they play their first class game for their state, what they do in Ranji trophies, in club cricket, try and replicate the same in IPL as well. I know IPL is a different ball game, but that is the kind of mindset you need to bring in. At the end of the day, it's the battle between bat and ball, nothing else. You don't have to look at the opposition. You don't have to look at who's bowling at you. You just have to face the ball, and it's the same for the bowlers. You don't have to look at the batter who's batting. So these are the things that you can have a talk to these younger players. And yeah, I mean, we know that Bumrah is not available. We've got a couple of guys who can do that job for us, what Bumrah is to do. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully, whatever space Bumrah was in, the other guys can come in and do the job for us. And, whenever those guys have played, they've done that job for that particular team.
Hi Rohit, Shine from Sportstar. Just after the Ahmedabad test, you had shared your thoughts about the road ahead for the World Test Championship final, and as a captain, what do you expect going forward? Now that it's a long tournament coming up, IPL, and being the captain of the Indian team, how do you think it's important that to ensure that the people that you're looking at the core, keeping in mind that you have to travel to England just after the IPL, what are the thoughts that you have in terms of monitoring all your players who are, they are perfectly in shape and in right space? So what's the conversation that you have had with other teammates?
No, look, after we played the last ODI, we had a good chat with all the boys. We told them exactly what they need to be doing in this 2 months of IPL, look after their bodies, make sure that they are fresh. Again, when they go and play for their respective franchisee, there's not much that you can control, because, it's up to the franchisee, it's up to their trainers, physios, their medical team, how they handle the players. But, all these guys are adults, they know how to manage the entire situation around them and then come back fresh for the finals. But, I'm pretty sure, like I just said, these guys are adults, they'll manage their body pretty well, and hopefully they can come fresh after the IPL.
Hi, Amol from The Hindu. On the same topic, I have a question to both of you. Rohit, from a player perspective, do you get a sense as to the workload management term being under the scanner even more when it comes to cricketers' workload in franchise leagues? For Indian cricketers, it's only IPL. How does the player fraternity in general look at it? And Mark, from a coaching group's perspective, how challenging does your role become when you have to deal with some emails from 4 or 5 boards specifying possible workload about X, Y, and Z, and also to ensure that the team's balance and the success of the team is not compromised?
Okay, so it's amazing we're actually talking about workloads in T20 cricket. Probably 10, 15 years ago, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But yeah, workloads is something that, we've got the science behind it. We've got trainers who basically give us all the data and that. And you just got to be adaptable to the situation that's in front of you. So in order to get the best out of every player that you have available to you, you need to be able to look after that space and see that he's in the right sort of mode to be able to perform. If he's tired, then you need to rest him. If he's not tired, then that's a great situation to be in. So we will adapt to every situation that we see with regards to any player that's on our books, that's in front of us as well. So yeah, a lot of talk is given to workloads and all that type of stuff. T20 cricket, if you have a look at our schedule, we've actually got a nice schedule. There's quite a bit of rest in between every game. So we can try to look after every player in that sort of way. So I don't see workloads being a major issue for us throughout the IPL, to be serious. Yeah, I think sometimes media, people look too much into workloads. Especially in the T20 format. It's quite a short game. It's 3 hours where the players have to give 100% intensity. As I said, 15 years ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation about workloads. Test cricket and one-day cricket is tough on the body. T20 cricket's short. So we shouldn't be talking about workloads, with all due respect.
Hi, Mark. My question is about the toss and the impact player option. Are they contradicting each other? I'm just saying, if you have the option of impact player and you have to announce the 11 after the toss, so does the impact player option is nullified first thing. And Rohit, my question is, are you seeking any replacement for Jasprit Bumrah?
First of all, with regards to the impact player, we're going to have to learn. I think it's great innovations. I've got no problem with the changing of teams after the toss. I think it'll level off the playing fields quite a bit if you do lose the toss, especially in India, where there is the dew factor. So, yeah, you just got to be able to adjust. It's sort of two rules that have changed straight away. So, you know, if they'd have said, listen, this year we're going to have the impact player, and next year we're going to change the rule after the toss, it might have been a little bit different. But yeah, both rules have changed now, and I think it's going to have quite a big impact on the game. But as Rose said earlier, I mean, you've got 11 cricketers, and you try to select the best 11 cricketers you can have. The 12th player is just a bonus, really. And I'm pretty sure that when he goes out to toss, he'll have a team sheet with his team that he wants to bat first with or bowl first with, and I'm pretty sure that it'll be the same team. You select the best players. The impact player is just a bonus player that really you just want to get him into, as the word says, have a major impact on the game. But the playing 11 should probably be the same 11 that you're going to select all the time.
In terms of the Bumrah's replacement, yes, we've been discussing on few options. Hopefully, we can close it down in the next couple of days and let you guys know about it.
Thank you so much.